Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Watchreport.com. And today I have the Vero Open Water Crown Point. But wait a minute. Is this the same Vero from 2 years ago with the Vero SW? Well, you're correct. Yes, it is. But this is a very different watch. And you know what? The company is in the middle of a little rebranding, if you will, because this is a very different watch than that Vero SW I reviewed a few years ago. As a matter of fact, it's different not only in design, manufacture, but also very different in price. And we're going to discuss all of that here today in this review. You're looking, I know you guys are waiting, you're looking at a price of $875 for this piece, and it does have a Sellita SW200 automatic movement. So for you guys that want to get that price and that movement right out of the way, there it is. I'll give you the rest of the specs here in a minute. But I wanted to talk about Vero and this new direction that they are going. If you take a look on their website, the Crown Point, this open water Crown Point, and the North Coast, which is just the same watch, just different dial color and a bead blasted bezel as opposed to the DLC bezel you see here. Those are the only two watches available on their website anymore. Gone are all the other watches that they had produced in the past. And I guess that's what they've been doing the past 2 years, is coming up with this rebranding and new direction for the brand. So there is a lot of things, of course, I want to unpack about this watch. One of them is the design. You can see it's going to remind you somewhat of Sin. Now that's not a bad thing, at least for me, because I like this matte finish, subdued design, that matte dial, the matte bracelet with the bead blast and everything on the bracelet and case. I like that. When I reviewed the RZE watch a few months ago, I said the same thing. It was inspired by Sin and had that very subdued tool watch look. So I totally dig the aesthetic that is going on here with this watch. Now, you're looking at that price of $875. It's $810 if you go for a NATO strap. You're not going to get any fancy packaging. I'll show you the packaging here on screen. It's just a simple clamshell box, so nothing to speak of there. Inside that, though, you do have a warranty, and that is something that I want to talk about, because the owner of Vero watches wanted me to point out their no questions asked 10-year warranty. Now, I don't want to belabor this point, but no questions asked. Drop it down, drop it on the floor. Your dog grabbed it. It got thrown out a 2-story window because they didn't have your favorite donut at Duck Donuts that day. Whatever the case may be, it's no questions asked. They will repair it. Now, common sense kicks in, though. 10 years, you're not sure if the brand's going to be around in 10 years. And that is not a knock against Vero watches. That is just reality. We all know how 2020 went, and we all know how things go with micro brands in general. A lot of them are only around a few years, so hopefully they will be around in 10 years. I really, really do hope they will be. But you're paying part of that, price that you're going to pay here is for that 10-year no questions asked warranty, which is great to have. But who knows if the brand will be around in even 3 years. So like I said, when it comes to the design, you have a very, very simple and clean design. And I don't want to say that and have that come off as a negative, because I don't think of it as a negative. I think of it as a positive. But let me go ahead and give you all the specifications. You're looking at 40 millimeter case width, 20 millimeter lug width. I don't know why I can't speak right now. 47 millimeter lug to lug, thickness of 11 millimeters. It is 316L stainless steel. You have the DLC coated bezel and crown. It is also loomed, as well as the dial and indices there. Flat sapphire crystal with a single side AR coating, a very articulated bracelet, and a dual lock clasp. 200 meters water resistant. Sellita SW200 regulated in-house, as I said. This one is running about 8 seconds slow. And this is very, very interesting. Swiss made, US assembled. So that's an interesting designation there. So as opposed to the last watch, that SW that was machined in-house and then assembled, this one is made in Switzerland, or made in Switzerland by the way of China, whichever it is. And then it is assembled here in, well, not here, but in the United States in Portland, Oregon. So interesting way that they went about producing this watch. But let's go ahead, let's take a look at this dial. Let's give you a nice dial close-up here, and let's go ahead and set it to some music. All right, I hope you enjoyed that close-up look at the dial, and while you were taking a look at it, you noticed a few things. You noticed, one, very nice applied markers. They are outlined in black. Two, that the dial is very simple and sparse. It is a matte, deep navy blue. You only have the Vero logo there and the word automatic, and you'll probably notice that granular texture to that hour and minute hand. I noticed that first when I was taking photos, and I thought like I hit a weird button while editing, and I made the hands look a little funky, but that is what the hands look like. The matte black part of them has this granular texture to them. It is kind of neat look, excuse me, and I do like how it looks against that dark blue dial. Bezel is DLC coated, as is that crown. When you're taking a look at the crown, I find the crown, it's nicely textured, but it's hard to grip because, not hard to grip, it's just a little small, and that's really what I'm going for. It is easy to grip and pull out and unscrew and screw back in. I just find it a little small, at least for my hands. Those crown guards, they look like crab claws. It's just kind of a design that they went for there. Not my favorite when it comes to the crown guards. When it comes to the bezel, obviously no loom pip. It is fully indexed, and it does function and click very nicely. I have no problems really with the bezel as far as functionality. Walking around the case, you could see the way the case construction is done. It's all very flat. It's all bead blasted. That is great. But you can see how that case back is attached. So it gives like an extra little layer or depth to that the case sides and case wall there. Now there is a flaw that I do need to point out. There is a design flaw when it comes to this bracelet and the end links. And you can see it here on video. Basically what's going on is that the end links are rubbing against the first link underneath it. It's a combination of a design flaw and of course being a bead blasted case. This is not a hardened case at all. So what's happening is that first link is rubbing against that end link, and the more you wear it, the more that rub mark is going to get it's just going to get worse looking. There's not really much that you can do about it. When it comes to the bracelet itself, as I said, they point out it is fully articulated, and it is. You could fold it up into itself. Very nice. That means it fits very nice on the wrist. And when it comes to my wrist, 7.5 inch wrist, I didn't have to remove a link at all. Kind of fit me right out of the box. So if you're somebody that has a bigger wrist than me, you're going to want to ask for extra links if you do plan on ordering one of these at some point. Pretty solid watch, weighs about 157 grams on my scale. And if you do need to take links out, you're going to be looking at the pin and collar system, so keep that in mind. When it comes to the clasp, I wish they went with something different. It's way too plain. It's only a flip lock clasp. It's not a push button clasp. Only has 3 micro adjust holes and does not have a dive extension. When it comes to the movement, as I said already, or if I didn't say, I can't remember now because I don't do this with the script. It's running about 8 seconds slow, which is more than fine for a Sellita SW200 movement. And if you're somebody that likes loom, C3 Super Luminova was used here, and it does glow very nicely. You know, $875 in the microbrand world can get you a lot of watch these days, and I don't need to sit here and list off the countless brands that we've reviewed here on the channel and all the different brands that are out there. You know what you're looking for when it comes to your money. But on the other hand, it's half price of what they were doing before, of what the brand Vero was doing before. So they've definitely restructured to me in a better way. And they're giving you know, what I think the watch public wants, we love dive watches. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The watch community loves dive watches. The microbrand watch community loves dive watches. This is a very, very simple and clean dive watch. It is assembled in the United States. It does have a regulated SW200 movement that they are doing themselves, and overall has that Sin vibe without being a copy or an homage, really. And I like the way this watch looks and feels. I really don't have a problem with this watch. You know, I go back and forth when it comes to the price. Yeah, there's a lot of watches out there for $875 or less, but that is up to you guys. I want to know what you guys think about this watch. Is it something that you would buy, or is it something that would never get your money? And let me know down in the comment section below. Of course, I'll have a full review at watchreport.com. That link will be in the description, as well as a link to the Vero website and Amazon affiliate links as well. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you on the next one.